The last logo you're going to be working on is designing a logo for an energy drink. And again, if you want to pull up some reference just to give you kind of a jumping off point, I don't want you guys to actually copy anything, but you can see there's a variety of stuff. You've got kind of the Monster energy drink with the kind of monster slash through here. Here you've got kind of the Old English writing. A lot of different options in here. So if you want to pull something for reference, and again, use it as a jumping off point, but I really want to see your thinking on here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start here, and we'll go ahead and put my name in here. And again, this is going to be completely up to you. Now, energy drinks, they tend to be pretty bold. So I'm going to look for a font that, let's see, actually I'll pull up here. Pull up my character window so I can test drive stuff here. And just see what I already have loaded in here. So again, test drive the fonts. Let's see, I thought I had some other fonts loaded in here, but I don't. So I'm going to go and find more fonts, and let's see, I'm going to filter this out. I'm going to do something like a slab serif that's got thick, bold, and let's see what I have here. Options available to me. Let's see. I know the one. Actually, maybe. What's that called? Sutro? Sure. I'll go ahead and do that one. So if you want to add a font, come over here to the little cloud icon, and it'll ask you if you want to activate it. It's probably going to take a minute to do that. It just told me up here that it's been added in here. So let's see if it is, in fact, in here now. There it is. It's awful large. So I'm going to use this to start. It's kind of got cool ease on here. But the other thing I want to encourage you guys to do is to, where possible, customize your fonts or your logos in here. The reason for that is this idea of ownability. And what ownability means, if I just use this font for a logo, there's absolutely nothing to prevent anyone else from coming along and using the exact same font for a competing energy drink. But if I do something to this that makes it unique and makes it my own, I then own that look, and then people can't copy it on here. So I'm going to play with that on this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the font. Again, it's got the baseline and the bounding box, so I can see it's a font. Let's turn that into outlines. All right. And again, it's grouped, so it's moving all together here. So I'm going to ungroup it. So now all these letters move individually. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to customize this font. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm looking at this font, and I see this little gap between the E's here. And I'm thinking what might be really cool is if I have a line that goes through all the type and cuts through there. So let's see what that looks like. And the way you're going to do this, this is a really, I use this a lot for logo design. And that's the Illustrator Pathfinder. So I'm going to open the Pathfinder tool. And what the Pathfinder tool allows you to do, you can use shapes to create new shapes. You can either unite them, you can subtract portions, you can have create areas where they intersect, and I'll show you how this works. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to draw a little rectangle that fits in here. And I'll show you what I mean by this here. All right, and just so you can see this, I'll give this a different color. So I'll just make that red. So I'm going to use this shape, and I'm going to subtract it from my letters to customize this type. So I'm going to move this, and I'm going to subtract a line out of here. All right. I'm going to copy this by holding the Option key down, and then if I hold the Shift key down at the same time, I can copy that and keep it aligned. Hold the Option key down to copy it, hold the Shift key down, and so I've got that. Let's do it over here. I'm going to select that, copy it by holding the Option key down, and then hold that Shift key down. And I'm going to do one last one. Copy it with the Option key, hold the Shift key down. So let me show you how this works with the Pathfinder tool. If you hover over any of these options, it will tell you what it does. So if you're unsure on it, what I'm going to do is use this second option. It says minus front. And what that means is whatever shape is in front is going to be subtracted from the shape that's underneath. So the way it works is I'll select the E in my first red shape. And there you can see it subtracted it from it. So if I go and do that for all of these, so I'm selecting each letter in the red rectangle and it is subtracting it out of it. So now I've kind of customized this type. What I'm also going to do is kind of move everything together so everything's kind of touching in here. So I'm selecting the letters. I'm holding the Shift key down so I can just move it all at once here. And so it's kind of funky. And then we talked about different types. And when we talk about energy drinks, you want to talk about urgency. And one of the ways you can do that is by slanting these or making them italic. So if I come over here to my scale tool and I angle it a little bit. Now, again, what I did is if you don't hold the Shift key down, it's going to go all over the place. So before you do this, hold the Shift key down and then you can keep it just like that. And then choose colors that you think work for this. If you look at the energy drinks here, I mean, there's a lot of green in here. There's also a lot of reds. Reds, oranges, and yellows tend to be pretty active. So what I can do is, let's go ahead and make this red. And then maybe what I'll do is similar to what I did before on some of the other logos, is I will offset another shape there. We'll make that orange or maybe yellow. And maybe I'll do that again here. Maybe, maybe not. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's probably a little too much. So let's quit while we're ahead. Oh. Maybe what I'll do instead of that, I'll show you another trick here. And that is, let me get rid of that. So design is a lot of trial and error, so don't be afraid to try something and it doesn't work and then you want to go back and try something different. I'm going to do something different here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this black. And now I'm going to copy it and I'm going to basically give it a drop shadow. Let's see what that looks like. All right, kind of interesting. Overall, you just want to make sure this reads like it's an energy drink in here. So let me see here. I'm going to back this up here. What's going to make my life a lot easier, you'll notice when I broke everything apart, now I've got lots of little individual shapes here. So I'm going to use the Pathfinder tool again. I'm going to select everything. And now I'm going to use the first option, which is Unite. And what that does is it will turn everything into one shape again. So now if I try and do that, drop shadow in here, that's looking a little bit better for me. So maybe I'll do that. You know, maybe I'll put, let's put like a little yellow key line around everything here. Now here's the thing, at the end of the day it's still got to read, and that's making it a little difficult to read, so maybe I'll quit while I'm ahead and leave it this way. So again, I want to get your take on how to do your name in the 5 different styles here. When you're done with it, what you want to do is save this in the PDF format. So here's what you're going to do. File, come down here, you want to do Save As. Now I'm just going to put this on the desktop for now. But what you want to do is, this is your first assignment in the class. So title it with your last name. You're always going to title your files with your last name. Do underscore, and then this is your first assignment. So do 0, 1. And then here's where you change that format. So if you don't change this, it's going to keep it in the Adobe Illustrator format. It might scramble it on my end when you send it in. So that's the great thing about PDF format, which stands for Portable Document Format, is no matter what program you open it in or how you send it, it will always end up looking the way you intend it to. So change that to the Adobe PDF format. Go ahead and hit save. I usually check this box here when you get the dialog box. What that'll do is allow you to take one last look at it before you send it in. So here's my PDF document, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so what you want to do, you can either upload that to Canvas or you can send it to the class Gmail account, which is art148pack@gmail.com. But Canvas is probably going to be the easiest way to do it. But either way works.